Nation of Fit in 10. Welcome to day 66, and we have got 4 days to go. 4 days. And I was talking to Martina today about this particular question that we addressed yesterday regarding building strength, mobility, more muscle mass. And I thought I would just let you guys know, because I recommended that that if you really wanted to build muscle, you want to make sure that you're getting a good amount of progressive overload. Basically, that means going to the gym or at least having access to weights. And she told me about somebody who used to do our classes and then has since moved to Victoria and does all the online classes now. And this person had a bench press of 95 pounds, has continued to do Martina's class. And granted, this person does have access to dumbbells, so she's able to use heavier weights in Martina's class. This person is now able to do 95 pounds on the bench press for 6 reps. So she went from doing, after training in classes for, I would say probably several years, she went from a 1 rep max of 95 pounds to now she's been doing Martina's classes for probably a couple years now, and probably 2 years. And she can now do 95 pounds on the bench press for 6 reps. So I don't want to discount Martina's classes by any means, because people are getting stronger, so long as you have the weights. So it would be totally worth it if you intend to continue with the classes, and I would encourage you to. But if you do, I would get some weights. And remember, if you buy some dumbbells, and I think dumbbells go from somewhere around $2 a pound right now, they will last you forever. So if you get, for example, let's say a pair of 5s, pair of 10s, pair of 15s, pair of 20s, so 40, 70, 90, so 100 pounds. Okay, that would cost you about $200 and last you a lifetime. So something to think about, okay? Just even getting some dumbbells. Now, you asked, so I got about halfway through this question, and, well, maybe I should just reread halfway through. It says, I do feel like I've gotten stronger, but I don't necessarily see any new muscle yet or feel a huge difference. Again, there is definitely change, but I'd like to create physical goals now. All right, so just on that note, a lot of people have said this to me before, and then of course we do before and afters, and there's a massive difference in how they look. So this is why I really encourage you to do before and afters. So hopefully you've done befores, and then you can do some afters, and you can really take a look. Again, a lot of people just don't see it, and that is because it is it's a progressive change that you just probably won't notice, because it's kind of slow. And you just, especially if you're looking at yourself every single day, you won't see it, but you will see change in pictures. And, we used to do pictures in the Fit in 10. People would come in, and if they were willing to do them, we would do them for them. And people were always shocked of the difference. They didn't realize that they made so much change. So hopefully you did some before pictures, and then you can do some afters, and then you can really see the change. All right, so for example, this person writes, so for example, I'd love to be strong enough to do pull-ups. That's something I haven't been able to do since I was a kid. Yeah, so there's a couple ways you can do this. At home, it might be a little more difficult, but okay, so let me just talk about ways to do it at home. You can get one of those doorway, what do they call them? It's basically a doorway pull-up bar. So you hook it into your doorway, and you can do pull-ups. Now what you can do is, if you can't do a full body weight pull-up, then you get a band, and you loop it across the top, and you put your foot in it. And that band will help to reduce or offset some of your body weight, so that you're able to do a pull-up. And you might require, depending on the strength of the band, you might require 2 of them, or maybe you just need a thicker band. If you go to somewhere like, what's it called? Fitness Depot? No. What's the one that's near here on Marine? I can't remember now. Fitness Town. They've got tons of bands there. So go there and check them out. There's one on Main near Knight Street Bridge. And that will be a great way to go. Or what you can do is you can do assisted pull-ups. Well, that is a form of assisted pull-ups, but you could do it in such a way where you set your pull-up bar so that your feet actually touch the ground. And then you could do it with either both feet on the ground, doing as many as you can. So you're offloading some of your weight onto the floor. You're not necessarily helping yourself up using your legs. You're not doing that. You're just letting some of your weight be supported by the floor. You could do that, or you could do something similar to that where you lift one leg off and you have one foot on the floor. If you have access to a gym, of course, you could use the lat pull down machine. Okay, in the lat pull down machine, you can literally change the amount of weight that you use. So you can build up your pull-ups over time. That's how I got to pull up. I mean, I remember when I first started doing pull downs as a teenager, I was doing, if I'm not mistaken, I think I was doing 110 pounds for, whatever sets of 10 or something like that. And then I, eventually got up to, I've gotten up to doing pull downs with 300 pounds. But the point is, by doing that incremental change by 10 pounds, that's usually what they are on a lat pull down. There's increments of 10 pounds. You can slowly move your way up and get stronger. For building, so more of the question here, for building on mobility, should we be focusing on getting full extension of each movement, or are there other ways of working out that you recommend? Yeah, I would work on so you have to know how to do the movements correctly, of course. I would work on getting full range of motion. If you get full range of motion, you should not lose any mobility. You shouldn't. Now, that's not to say you won't, but you shouldn't. On most movements, you should not, okay? You definitely shouldn't lose any flexibility. Sometimes there can be some tightness that will develop in the joint. There can be some level of discrepancy between, especially if you're doing like a bilateral movement, like let's say a barbell chest press. Sometimes you can overload one side more than the other, and this can result in maybe something happening with the mechanics and resulting in some tightness or something. So there is stuff that can happen. But generally speaking, if you're working through full range of motion, you will not lose any flexibility or mobility for that matter, okay? So you will not lose any flexibility in the muscle, and you will not lose any range with the joint, okay? You shouldn't. And that is one advantage of doing full range of motion when you're lifting weights. All right, message of the day here on this day 66. And this is a reminder to you that you're as happy as you allow yourself to be. No one is in control of, no one else is in control of how you view the world and your life. Your happiness is up to you. All right. So again, you're as happy as you allow yourself to be. No one else is in control of how you view the world and your life. Your happiness is up to you. Your happiness is a state of mind, and I will admit this is a tough one for myself, for sure. And I don't need to go into any details, but I will just tell you that it is a state of mind. And if you, which by the way, I never received any thank yous not thank you to me, things that you are thankful for, which I brought that up in a video probably, I don't know, maybe 20 videos ago. If you wake up and you just do what you're thankful for, a gratitude list, 5-10 things every morning that you're thankful for, if you just rehearse this a couple times, it's been proven to improve your state of mind and your happiness. So again, this is just a state of mind, right? It is a choice. It is the way that we think, or the way that we often think, is a choice. Now, we may have an unconscious something or other in the back of our minds that's negative, but it's up to us to become conscious of that. It's up to us to figure out a way to better control our thoughts, to see things where the glass is more half full rather than half empty. And as I mentioned, one of the great ways to do this is to do a gratitude list every day, when you wake up or before you go to bed for that matter, or both. Just write out the things that you're thankful for. And just a reminder to you that we are among the luckiest and richest people on this earth. I mean, I think we can easily say we're within the 1% of everybody on this earth by a long shot. Okay, so reminder, your happiness is up to you. You choose to be happy or not. Positive energy, positive vibes, believe in yourself, and for the love of God, give some gratitude, and I'll talk to y'all tomorrow.